Today, we're bringing you another garage tour, and it may look like these two McLarens behind me are just parked, but they're parked 30 feet in the air. I'm Justin.
And I am Aaron.
And this is Husman Bros. Before we go too much further, please subscribe for more content like this.
And make sure you stay tuned because we're going to show you the rarest vehicles at the end.
I'm bad at remembering these crazy color names, so I'm going to lay this burden on your shoulders.
Yeah, let me tell you about these McLarens. Let's start with this one over here. What we've got here is a Ventura Orange McLaren 720S. Now we know from some of the other garages, the other McLarens that we've seen, that McLaren uses the horsepower to build their model name. So this one has a twin turbo V8 that is pushing out 720 horsepower. McLaren was born from racing, and these are race cars. And our cousin Ed, who owns this garage, he is a race car driver. So these cars, both of them, have been used for what they were built for. All right, so as we walk over here to the 600 LT, I want you to notice the great choice that cousin Ed made on the wall up here. Of course, you don't want to be falling over, but you do need some kind of wall here. And when you've got a setup like this, you don't want anything obstructing your view. So only the slightest bit of railing here at the top of it, but great glass wall. You can see all of the cars, look right down on your entire collection. Just amazing sight to see. So let's talk about this 600 LT. And again, we've got a twin turbo V8, and this is pushing out, as you guessed, 600 horsepower. The LT stands for long tail. This is the long tail version of the McLaren 570. One thing that always strikes me about McLarens is they are absolutely killing it when it comes to colors. Their colors are amazing. You look at these and you see the way the lights hit them and you see the shine that comes off of them. I just think really McLaren is doing it better than anybody else right now with their colors. Now this one here is a volcano yellow. Our cousin Andy actually is the detailer for McLaren, and you may or may not know that McLaren moved their headquarters right here to North Texas. So if you and your buddies watch a lot of these videos, we will do our best to arrange a tour of the McLaren headquarters. Now, before we go on, I want you to stop and go down to the comment section and let me know which is your favorite. Do you like the Ventura Orange, or do you prefer the Volcano Yellow? Let us know in the comment section below.
We've seen all different build out in these garages. This is, I would call this garage a very clean and well organized, a tidy garage, and the upstairs is no different. A simple kitchen because you've got a fridge and you've got a microwave for your snacks and stuff like that. This is not a garage really built for entertaining. It's a garage built for those cars and to have the cars around here, but it still has purpose. Up here, you've got a place to lounge and watch your television, watch your races, watch your own races if you're like the owner of this garage. And then you've got a workstation and a printer here so that a little bit of work can be done. When you're living this life, really, you're always working at one moment or another. So, and finally, my favorite part of any garage, because I'm still a big kid inside, is the car model collection. He's got some really great stuff here, including some helmets that he's worn as a race driver, even cars with his own livery on them. And it's just a really great display. Every one of the cars he owns, because if you have one full-size car, you should absolutely have a smaller car to display as well. Let's go downstairs and check out the rest of the stuff, the things that you're really tuning in for. So one of the things that I do want to point out about this garage, you know, I said clean earlier, but also finished might be a word I would choose. We have this curved stairway coming down. Most of the garages we've been to here in the garages complexes have been straight upstairs. This gives it a different feeling. It feels more homey and more like a house than a garage. Now, let's go down and check out some stuff down here. A couple of the other garage features that I want to point out, some were his choices and some came with it that I really like. One are these sconces on the wall. They give the light profile a lot different than what we've got going in our garage, and frankly, what a lot of the garages have going on. And then the window is something I'm insanely jealous of. It gives it a more natural feeling. Honestly, when I'm in my garage often, I feel pretty cut off from the world, and having that window really makes a big difference, I'm sure. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not great at remembering the colors, but these two are pretty simple, both colors-wise and cars-wise. So here we have a 79 911, and then we have a 2017 911, and they're both white, and they're both simple, but cousin Ed told me these are his two favorite cars. This one because it was the first car, the first Porsche his father bought new. This one because this was the first Porsche he spec'd out. He did his best to make them both very similar in how they were built, but the two simplest cars in this garage are actually his two favorites, and I totally understand why. Now, this one has been completely restored, and we'll get some better video of the underneath and behind it here that's going to be in the video, but it is something else to see. You could eat off the engine. And this one, again, just a simple 911, great car, Great choices. I'm going to let Aaron tell you about these cars in the bottom, but before I turn it over to that tool, I want to tell you about these tools. Now, this is the workshop area, and Ed says he works on his cars, but I suspect he doesn't do it here because those are way neater than I think I could ever keep my tools. Really, again, simple setup down here, place to hang out and talk with your buddies. There's a bathroom and a couple storage units, and that's how he built it out. These garages do come with a mezzanine, but he took it out to build it out his own way. Again, the drop ceilings, the whole feeling of this place is much different than a lot of the other garages we've been in. Now, I joke about not being able to work on your cars and keep your tools this neat, but I think that's more of a me problem than an Ed problem. But one of the things that is really striking is the orange here, and it's the company color for the company that Ed runs. And there's a lot of orange around here, and with the gray, it's really a nice pop of color. You'll see some other orange stuff on the walls here, but now we need to talk about cars again. And here is my brother lurking in the shadow, much like Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm just over here drooling over these two.
Well, why don't you tell us about them?
All right, so what we're looking at is the 2019 GT3 RS. This one has PDK in it. If you don't know what that stands for, it stands for pretty damn quick. This one is in glacier white. It's got the graphite wheels with the center locks on them. I love a center lock wheel. It just looks so cool, and it's just true racing heritage there. Over here, we've got the GT4 in speed yellow. This is a 2020 model, and right now, this is the hottest allocation. It is so hard to get a GT4 allocation right now, so it's really impressive to see this one. So this one is a mid-engine as opposed to the rear-engine 911, and this one is also a 6-speed instead of PDK. Now, like I said, this is one of the hottest allocations, and the theory is it's because this is the last generation of the gas-powered Caymans, and everybody wants the last of the last when it comes to Porsche. So you may see these right behind me. If you like cool stuff, you're gonna love these. Ed collects not just cars, he collects vintage jet skis as well, and he does it because, as you might have guessed, or maybe you didn't guess it, he actually used to race jet skis like this. All right, so what we have here is a couple of Kawasaki jet skis. This one up here is a 1976. This one down here is a 1991. Both of these are 440cc motors in them. I love this top one here because it's got a great straight exhaust coming out the side. But you can tell that this is the one from the 70s and this is the one from the 90s. The 70s one looks very 70s like, the red and blue colors, even the grips that look like they came off of a Kawasaki three-wheeler. And the 90s one, of course, got the hot pink in there, and it just looks very 90s, especially with the squiggle streak down the side. Love these cool Kawasaki's. So this one has been used a bit. This one has never been run before. I just think it's really cool. It's cool that he has them, but these are really special jet skis, and in the condition that they're in, these things are worth probably 10 grand a piece. But wait, there's more. Here we have a 1994 Kawasaki. This one's got a bit bigger of a motor. This is a 550cc motor and another stand and drive one. This one has also never been operated. So this one, it's a little bit older. It looks a little beefier than the other two. And this one, he actually even has the original crate that it was shipped in. So a really cool piece of art over here. Justin, tell me about the old jet skis you got over here.
Well, I've never even ridden a regular jet ski, much less a stand-up jet ski, but if you'd have told me this morning this would be the neatest thing I would see today, I would have laughed in your face because I've been here before and I've seen this stack and it's pretty incredible, but just all these jet skis are amazing. Before we talk too much about jet skis, I do want to talk about the art on the walls. So as we said, Ed is a racer, and so you want to commemorate all the things that you've driven, and this one is my favorite. So this is a Freightliner series down in Mexico, and Ed owns a trucking company, and that's his racing truck. I'm sure that was a handful to run. As always, the garages are covered with art on the walls. There's a lot of great stuff here. This one doesn't have that sensory overload from the art. Instead, it's got it from the things in the garage, including these other two jet skis. So this is an 89 Kawasaki 550, and this is an 88 Kawasaki 650. I don't know if my first car was 650 cc's or not, but if you'd have told me that waking up this morning that seeing these jet skis would be the neatest thing I would see all day, I don't know that I would have believed you because this setup is pretty incredible. What an amazing garage. So the details are what it's all about, and this is one we spotted actually as we're about to wrap things up here. a customized 911 fire extinguisher. I mean, that's pretty baller. And if we're talking about details, you're gonna have to detail your car. So let's look at some of the little details over here.
This is a great one. I haven't seen this in any garage before, but here we have a water softening system. Pretty cool spigot that we've got here with 4 hose connections to it, but we've got the water softening system, and by far the fanciest hose I have ever seen in my life. But if you're gonna wash cars like this, you don't wanna do it with something from Home Depot. So get yourself a nice hose.
What an amazing, amazing setup.
Absolutely. It is fantastic. I mean, we've been to other garages. We've seen bigger garages. We've seen garages with crazier finish out, but it's not about that. This garage is packed with the most interesting stuff.
Absolutely. It's most about the cars in this one. Thanks so much for watching.
Come back and see us next time.